Woman on my head, she bad, said she
Greetings, my friends, and welcome back to another story in the life of the old-time rock and roller. Today I'm going to be talking about four good friends of mine that were fantastic recording artists that I recorded with in 1976. You might know their names: Marie Franklin, who recorded for a long time as a Raelette, backing up Ray Charles, and she had a string of maybe 10 hits in the 60s and 70s. Jimmy Reed, the famous blues artist. Tony Bellson, son of Pearl Bailey and Louis Bellson, and also Doris Troy. We've got a big lineup today, so let's get going. I was at a party in the Hollywood Hills with Kathi McDonald one night, and I met two famous singers. One was Jimmy Reed, famous blues man, and the other one was Claudia Lanier, who was Brown Sugar, who sang with the Rolling Stones. So that was pretty high echelon company I was keeping. So Jimmy told me that he was producing a couple of singles on Marie. He asked me if I would play on the records, since Kathi told him I was a great guitar player. So I said sure. We rehearsed once or twice, and Marie was such a great lady. I mean, just full of energy, funny, always had a smile on her face. And one of the cuts was called Bab Bad Woman. That was a really funky number. That was great, wasn't it? Man, that was funky. Marie has such a voice. The other cut was called You're Coming Home, Ain't You, Baby? We cut Bab Bad Woman in a day, and it was released on Terrycore Records, and I loved it. It was just so funky and such a great feeling to be back in the studio again on another side project. I don't know why she didn't make it bigger. Now, Tony Bellson, I'm not sure how I met him. He was a drummer. He lived out in Pasadena, had his own house with his girlfriend Michelle. And he used to invite me and Terry out to his place for an all-day jam. And every time we went, he had a dish of peyote buttons. So we ate a bunch of peyote buttons and talked and drank wine and waited till it was coming on. And then Tony and I would go downstairs where his drum set was. I'd play the guitar, he'd play the drums. We never had anything worked out. We just enjoyed jamming together, and we did it for a long time. Of course, Michelle was into Terry. I don't know why all these girls wanted to take her to bed with him, but c'est la vie. As I say, that was Hollywood. So Tony was Pearl Bailey's sister's child, actually. And Pearl's sister ran into some trouble. And so when Tony was a small boy, she and Louis Bellson, the famous jazz drummer, adopted Tony and raised them as their son. And he also had a sister. So Tony never really quite lived up to the fame of Louis Bellson and Pearl Bailey. I mean, they were jazz giants. But it was a privilege to know him and to work with him. And he passed on around 2006, unfortunately. Now,
just one look, and I felt so hard.
Doris Troy had a string of hits through the 60s. One of Doris's big hits was Just One Look. That came out in 1963. So she had been on the R&B scene for a long time. One afternoon, I got a call from Artie Ripp, who was associated with the Wadsworth Mansion and with Vinnie Poncia and the Ringo album and a lot of people. He had a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. And Doris was recording, and he said, hey, I need a solo and some rhythm. Come on down to the studio. I went down, I met Doris. She was a very nice lady. And we cut this song. I don't know what ever happened to it, but it was just one of those cool things that you do and you're in and out, and everything was great. Now, Jimmy Reed and the Golden Gate Express. Jimmy was from the Bay Area, Oakland, and he put a little project together, and he called it Jimmy Reed and the Golden Gate Express. And we recorded 2 songs. One song was called Pappa Got Caught. It was a really fun song. Let's listen to a little bit of Pappa Got Caught. This is great. Jimmy Reed and the Golden Gate Express. Yeah, man. Oh, that's funky. That was great, wasn't it? And the Disco Groove Game was on the flip side, the B side of the 45. And they both made the charts. A funny story. One time, I was visiting my health club out in Encino. We had moved out there from West Hollywood, and a lot of movie stars and whatnot lived out in Encino. So I had joined this health club, and everybody there walked around in purple tracksuits and had bulging muscles and things like this. Well, Jimmy came over, and I had my famous green velvet hat that our friend Valerie from Trinidad had given me. And Jimmy said, hey man, do you mind if I wear that hat to the pool, to the health club? And I said, no. And so we're there in the jacuzzi, and this guy Stan was showing us around, and you know, here's the pool, and here's the locker room, and here's the weight room and stuff. And he said, and here's the jacuzzi, and why don't you guys just kick back and relax, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So there was Jimmy wearing this hat of mine, sunglasses, rings forever, gold chains, just looking like $1 million, a celebrity. And Stan comes in and he says, well, Mr. Reed, how do you like the facilities? Jimmy says, great, I love it. And Stan is thinking dollars. He says, great. He says, so would you like to sign up today? Stan said, well, Jimmy, are you ready to join the club? Jimmy pulled his glasses off and he said, hell no. I'm just getting some ideas on how to set my pad up. And Stan kind of, it was like a balloon that all the muscles in the air shriveled out of, and he, okay, and he kind of sulked off and walked away. I couldn't stop laughing. So this was just a quick little story. I wanted to mention some more friends of mine that I hadn't talked about before. And I guess that's it for now. So thanks for coming along on this very short trip. What a time. So that is it. I just want to say, a lot of you have written me and given me some great comments and a lot of encouragement, and I really appreciate that. And if you would like the video, if you liked it, of course, and subscribe to the channel, please hit like, subscribe, and smash that bell so you will be notified of the next cool story from the adventures of the old-time rock and roller. What do you say? Is it a deal? Come on, I'll see you then. So keep some love in your heart and a song in your head. I'll see you down the story highway on the next adventure of the old-time rock and roller. Let's take it out with some Jimmy Reed. So long, my friends.